Hello, and thank you so much for joining us on CBS 8 Plus. I'm Heather Myers. Here at CBS 8, we are working for you and getting to the bottom of some of the problems that you've asked about. We're looking for solutions. Today, we start with an exclusive look inside the San Diego Police weapons vault. SDPD says it's gotten more than 13,000 illegal guns off of our streets since 2018. Now we're investigating where these guns came from. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is working for you on this story and breaks down the numbers.
It's scary, yeah, because I live in there.
And that's why San Diego police say they are working to get and keep guns off our streets.
Oh, yellow, team vehicle 121199. A weapon in his hand.
With the goal to keep San Diegans.
It just seems more and more we're coming across people who are willing to turn and fire at police.
And law enforcement safe.
So this is where we keep all of our rifles for the gun property. We have guns that are ready for disposal, as well as weapons that have been used in sex crimes, as well as homicides.
Captain Laura McLean gave CBS 8 an inside tour of the San Diego Police Department's gun vault, where more than 13,000 guns are held for safekeeping and for evidence. Some of the guns inside these white boxes were used in San Diego's most heinous murders and violent crimes, including police shootings and sex crimes.
And that doesn't include the weapons that we're holding for evidence on any crime in the city of San Diego.
CBS 8 is working for you, taking a closer look at where all of these guns come from. Since 2018, SDPD has confiscated more than 6,000 guns for evidence used in crimes. Nearly 150 were considered found property. Nearly 5,000 were considered gun safekeeping, and nearly 2,000 guns held here have various points of origin outside of evidence for crimes.
It's scary thinking that a lot of these guns are out there committing crimes. There's also a lot of what we call ghost guns. Those are the manufactured guns. We call them firearms manufactured by unknown subjects.
CBS 8 took a look at the different types of guns found. More than 1,500 were shotguns, about 3,000 were long guns or assault rifles, and SDPD has seized more than 8,500 handguns. And police say this is just the tip of the iceberg.
We only have a very small fraction of what is out there.
Kirsten Holmes, CBS 8.
Well, San Diego police say that of the nearly 3,000 long guns and rifles confiscated, most were either AR-15s or AM-16s. Is the new year a good time to get a new home? It's a question many are asking as the mortgage rates were dropping. Mortgage rates are now slowly climbing again after falling for about 9 weeks. CBS 8 Shannon Handy is working for you and spoke with the experts to find out what to expect this year and what to do if you want to buy.
Right now, on average, mortgage rates are around 6.5%. Last month, they were closer to 7%. The experts I spoke with say mortgage rates will continue to drop this year, but that doesn't mean you should wait to buy. When it comes to buying a home, there's a lot to consider. For starters, how much will it cost to take out a loan? 2023 saw some of the highest mortgage rates in years, close to 8%, but they have since gone down and are now under 7%, the lowest level since May.
I think the outlook looks good as far as interest rates are concerned.
Alan Jin is an economics professor at the University of San Diego. He says the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates to combat inflation. As the economy improved, those rates dropped, and they're expected to be cut even further.
I think we'll probably see at least a 0.5% drop in the rate that the Federal Reserve is targeting, and that'll translate into lower mortgage rates as well.
That 0.5% could equate to a savings of hundreds of dollars a month. So does it mean you should wait to buy? I asked Sam Hansen, a branch manager with the Gaylord Hansen team at Cross Country Mortgage.
So my advice is if you can qualify right now for this payment, get into that home before those prices continue to rise. Because if you wait, you're going to be battling more buyers, and then you're going to be paying a higher price.
Hansen says when rates go down, more people qualify to buy a home. And since supply is still incredibly low, that extra competition will drive home prices up.
When our buyers are making an offer on a home, there's sometimes 3, 5, 10, 15 other offers. So, you know, when you have that type of supply and demand imbalance and people are battling to get into these homes, naturally prices are going to continue to rise. I think it's a story of supply and demand. It really comes down to that.
Hansen does not foresee housing prices dropping, but says home buyers always have the option to refinance once rates do. Professor Jin offered the same advice, all while acknowledging the fact San Diego is still one of the most expensive places to live in the country.
The problem with San Diego is the prices are still pretty high. Even though the interest rates went up, that did not put a dent in the rise in prices that we've seen.
So how low will rates go? Well, no one can say for sure, but experts believe we could see them hover around 6%, possibly even lower sometime in 2024. Reporting from Claremont, I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
All right, Shannon, thanks. With winter temperatures getting colder at night, more of you are starting to turn on your heater. And as we know, turning on the warmth can come with a hefty price attached to it when it comes to paying that bill. CBS 8's Brian White is working for you with ways to keep your house warm while keeping the energy costs down.
With these colder temperatures lately, we've been cranking our heater to 70, and we've been seeing the effect on our power bill. This was my SDG&E bill at $120 for October when I wasn't using the heater. It bumped up to $190 the next month as it started getting colder. And now that I've turned up the heat throughout December, my current bill's at $221. That's an increase of more than $100 from a few months ago. So what can we do to save money on our heating bill? First and foremost, making sure our HVAC system isn't working harder than it needs to.
This is a standard filter. It's important to understand that it's absolutely critical to keep this one changed on a regular basis because of the restriction of the airflow. If you restrict airflow too much, your heat exchanger gets too hot.
Keith Zirk is with Personal Plumbing, Heating and Cooling and has 30 years in the HVAC business. He says when you change your filter, it's important to use the right size.
This one happens to be a 16 by 25, which is sized for this particular furnace. And it's also important to recognize that the airflow is already marked on there, so you want to make sure that you're putting it in properly.
What about closing off vents to rooms we don't need to heat? Can that save money? Keith says no, it might actually cause damage.
Please understand, your system is designed to have all the vents open. If you start shutting off different registers, you're now restricting airflow again, and you can cause havoc with overheating your heat exchanger.
And if you don't have a central HVAC system, you might be using a portable space heater to keep warm. Keith says be careful and keep it on a flat surface.
A couple of things to look out for is they do get hot, so if you have children in the house, you have to make sure that they're not in access to them, and as well as making sure there's no flammables around them.
No matter how you're heating your home, a good carbon monoxide detector is key.
Carbon monoxide is an issue with older furnaces. That's why it's very important that you pick the proper carbon monoxide detector. So it's really important if when you buy one or when you're looking and researching one that you get the lowest parts per million as possible.
To keep things running smoothly, Keith recommends getting your HVAC system serviced once a year by a professional. Working for you, Brian White, CBS 8.
Brian, thanks. So according to local experts, Latinas here in San Diego County are more likely to start a business in the next 3 years than non-Latinas. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen met with a Chula Vista business owner and is working for you to learn some helpful tips on how others can get started on a business of their own.
Yes, I met with a Latina entrepreneur who started her own designer bag business. I also talked with an expert to learn how others can get inspired and start their own business. Latina-American Gabriela Cabande was born in Mexico. She says her passion for fashion started at a young age.
Since I was a little girl, I was always fascinated by the fashion industry. And as the years passed, my eagerness in this dream never went out, so I started creating and manufacturing my own design.
She sketched fashion bags on drawing paper, sparking the inception of her own business, crafting purses, leather goods, and accessories. She now has her own showroom in Chula Vista and credits much of her success to the Chula Vista Chamber of Commerce.
This organization helps Latina women to do network with other women, and they help you with giving you tools and information that you need to create your business or to grow your business.
So, what if you want to start your own business? I found many other resources out there that can also help. Mana de San Diego is a nonprofit organization that helps Latinas of all ages with resources to start their own businesses. I spoke with their director of grants and research. She says nationally, Latinas are starting more businesses than ever before.
What I do know nationally is that Latinas Latinas are actually the largest segment of new entrepreneurs nationally.
The reason? She says during the pandemic, many Latinas started their own business while also being caretakers at home, and the trend continued.
So a lot of them looked, because we are resilient people, we really look for opportunities to still survive and make ends meet. And so a lot of women started businesses during that time.
Mana de San Diego provides a network of support and organizations to help with business development. And if your dream is to start your own business, Kabande says you can make anything happen.
You need to be a problem solver. We Latinas, we want to leave like a mark here that we can make it. Latinas are coming strong more than ever.
Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
She has some great stuff. Ariana, thanks. Well, getting your pet in to see the vet, it can be difficult, but that's changing now that we are in 2024. California Assembly Bill 1399 allows telehealth visits for your animal. CBS 8's Jenny Day is working for you and shows us what the teledog treatment will be like.
New year, new law. If a virtual doctor appointment is good enough for me once in a while, that's now the case for Daisy as well. Getting the care your four-legged friend needs in the new year, all online.
I'm thrilled for pet parents and pets alike.
As of January 1st, a new Assembly bill allows around-the-clock virtual visits for Fido.
Behavioral concerns, aging concerns, food concerns, anything like that. Those are all great telemedicine questions.
Mark Bardo is the founder and CEO of Vetster.
And it is a complete game changer in pet care.
He started it after his 17-year-old cockapoo was having tremors while on vacation over a holiday weekend and therefore had limited access to a veterinarian.
There's hundreds and hundreds of symptoms that can be treated through pet telemedicine, and you can get medication prescribed and delivered to your door through Vetster.
Vetster is a platform that connects you to a virtual vet within 30 minutes. You can pick based on price or whether they specialize in dogs, cats, reptiles, or guinea pigs. And before Fluffy even needs that appointment, you can create an account and upload your animal's medical history for free.
Eye infections, ear infections, gastro issues, skin issues. My dog was in a fight. My dog has, ate some chocolate. Those are all well handled by pet telemedicine.
Daisy and I hopped online with Moonlight Vet out of Encinitas and Mission Valley.
I've used it for myself. I've used it for my kids, but it's a little bit tricky for animals.
The new virtual visit is $98, same as an in-office visit. And if you do end up needing to go in, there's no extra charge.
I can have you lift up her lip and we can kind of look at her gum color. You're the nurse now where you can touch and feel and tell me where things are sore.
We show the doctor a bottle.
There we go. Look at their eyes or nose for discharge.
But know that telehealth technology isn't here to compete with your clinic.
If your dog breaks a leg, I would run to the emergency clinic.
But it can help get a quick question answered from the comfort of your own home.
Oftentimes for a routine spay or neuter, we can video chat and say, how is your pet doing for follow-up? A lot of times skin problems, so skin infections, we need to kind of lift up the hair, we need to touch, we need to feel.
And with the nation experiencing a shortage of veterinarians, this should help more animals get the care they need. Yeah, many animals otherwise with unmet needs end up in our already overcrowded shelters or with unnecessary suffering and an increased spread of disease. Working for you and for you, Jenny Day, CBS 8.
And it looks like the dog was much more comfortable with that type of visit. Remember, if there is something that you would like us to look into, just email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thanks so much for joining us here on CBS 8 Plus. We'll see you next time.